Hey guys, it's Malonb or Malonb from Facebook Malonb Shop. I'm here to show you guys how I do my foundation row or starting row or cast on for Tunisian Crochet for my usual Tunisian Crochet projects. I'm going to show you guys an Afghan Stitch, or also known as Basic Stitch. This is the one I use the most, especially for any of my pixelated objects or projects. As you guys know, I do a lot of video game stuff and this works very well. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using a regular crochet hook just because it is a lot easier to use in front of the camera. And at the end, I just put rubber bands so the stitches won't fall out. If you guys have not seen a crochet or a Tunisian crochet hook before, it is just a very long crochet hook with a stopper at the end. I do have one here if you guys would want to see one or haven't seen one before. It does have a stopper at the end. And again, it's just very long. The other end is just a regular crochet hook. The way we cast this on, it does start with a chain. As usual with crochet projects, it usually does start off with a chain, which starts off with a slip stitch or a slip knot. If you guys don't know how to make one, feel free to browse YouTube. There are tons of how-to videos. It's not hard to master at all. So once we have the slip knot, this does not count as a stitch. And for the project I'm going to show you guys, or for this demonstration, I'm going to cast on 21. And this does not count as one, so let's chain 21. Alright, we have 21 here. And I'm going to show you guys how I do my projects. If you guys have seen them before, I tend to make pillows out of Tunisian crochet, and I like to do a single crochet border around the whole panel before finishing off. So because of that, this is my preferred way of casting on. But I probably will be making another video showing you guys a different way to cast on, just so it has a nicer edge to it. Now what I do is go in the first loop. As you can see here, we have a live loop at the last chain here. So we would go on to the next one. You would go to the top loop here, go in there and pull through. Leave that on your hook. Again, Tunisian crochet works in 2 passes per row. This will be the first pass from right to left where you cast on all the stitches, and the second pass from left to right will be to cast them all off. So we just keep doing that for the whole chain, and again leave those loops on there. We have 3 stitches, 4,
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
and 21. Okay, now we have all the live loops on my crochet hook. This will be the first pass. Now we're at this end, and I'm going back to the second pass. I just remember that the first stitch is always alone. What I mean by that is when we cast off the first stitch on this side on the left, it will be by itself. So you would pull through one loop. Again, the first one is always alone, so just pull through the first. And that is your first cast off stitch from the left, and all the rest through the whole project to the other end, you will cast off two loops at a time, or 2 stitches at a time. So from here you would pull the loop through 2, because for the rest of the whole row you would do 2. You would cast off 2 loops at a time. Yeah, pull through 2.
pull through 2, 2, 2.
Alright, here we're with the last 2 loops, and again you will pull through 2. And again we are left with 1 live loop on our hook, and that is counted as a first stitch. So here's your foundation row, It doesn't look like much right now. It looks kind of holey, not as tight, but once you do the second row, it definitely will fill out. Let me start off with the second row and let's complete the second one just so you can kind of see what kind of product this makes. And again, I'm doing the Afghan stitch, also known as a simple stitch. Now the way you would do the second row is the same as you did the first, but instead of pulling the loops through the top part of the chain, you will pull through the vertical lines here. With these colors, you can really tell the vertical lines you're left with. Each of these vertical lines is a stitch. Same way we did the first, just going through these vertical lines, pulling loops up instead of via the chain. There you go. Now we have 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
20, and 21. You should come up with the same number of loops or stitches that you started off with in the chain. And here you go. You can already see that the first row has filled out, and it's not as loose or as wholly as you first thought it may be. And Tunisian crochet in general does make a rather thick fabric. So if you guys have not worked with it before, just be aware that it does make a quite thick fabric, and unfortunately it also does tend to curl sometimes, as you can see. Let's finish the second pass. Again, the first one, starting the second pass is always alone. So we will just pass the loop through 1, and the rest we will do pass through 2. Here we're with the last 2 loops, and again we're back to the beginning of the row. That's how you cast on and do the first, second row with Tunisian crochet. And again, I used the Afghan stitch, also known as simple stitch.